Hello and welcome to another episode of Garden to Table with Rose, and I am Rose. So today I am out front and I thought I'd do a short tour of the front garden, just a little update. It just got done raining. It's been raining for almost 24 hours. So some things are laying down because of the water, but it's overcast, so it's a good day for a video. So here we are. I'm going to start on this short side of the driveway. And like I said, I'm going to try to keep this to 10 minutes. This is the new section that I just created. As you can see, everything is growing pretty well. Still a lot of weeds popping up because I just kind of tilled this up. So it'll be a couple of years before it's probably under control. But everything here is doing well. There's some annuals in here because I was just filling in the space because things are very tiny. But once these perennials get huge, it should be good to go. My roses, my little arch of roses, I did have two that did not grow, that were dead on arrival. And so the company has refunded me the money, and I've ordered some more which should be coming in the fall. But my goal is to have an arch here of rose bushes in like whites and pinks, pale pinks. Yeah. So, and then as you can see, I do have annuals thrown in here. Like I said, there's gladiolas in here. There's even jalapenos and sunflowers. And a lot of the annuals I use for cut flowers and flower bouquets. So that's all that's going on here. I did move one of the hydrangeas over here. This is the one with black stems. Hopefully it survives because on the shady side it was not doing well, so I think it needed more sun. I moved my topiaries over here just to have more stuff over here, and they probably will stay there for a while. Some of the roses that I just planted, as you can see, are already blooming even though they're super short, so that's kind of nice. But over here is basically, I have a hedge of limelight prime hydrangeas interspersed with these boxwoods that are pyramidal shaped. There's some annuals back there to fill in some space, but that back there is usually daffodils. That's where I plant all the daffodils, or most of them, my daffodil bed. So let's turn here. Oh, I think I'm turning too fast. I'm turning too fast. This is my little rock garden. So it's all rocks under there. So I just have sedum and more sedum. I keep breaking it off and planting pieces of it because it roots really easily. So it's multiplying. My goal is to have this whole thing just be sedum. There's one coral bell in there too that I accidentally moved over here. But let's see. These petunias took off that I grabbed at the nursery and put in these pots to have some color. I mean, goodness graciousness. Look at this one. So there's tiny evergreens in those pots, and I just put the petunias around them, and they are definitely growing. Let's see. Nothing much new. I do have news. I found something that so far seems to be surviving the full shade of the porch and the window boxes, and that is ferns. So I went to my local nursery and the ferns were marked down because we're halfway through the season, and so I grabbed two and just put them in those pots. Now unfortunately these aren't annuals, but they didn't cost very much, and so but they have been there since I don't know, at least 3 weeks, and they seem to be doing well. They look pert and okay. And these window boxes I showed you last time, the things that I put in there have survived so far. They haven't really gotten that much bigger, but they have survived. And then I did throw in like one of those purple petunias at the end. So I'm just glad to have something growing in there because I've tried like 10 different things in there and to no avail. All right, let's see over here. Everything is looking lush. I really don't need to point out anything new because there is nothing new. It's the same stuff. It's just bigger and fuller and lusher. Those are tomatillos that I just put up here, and it's huge. I haven't trimmed it or anything, and I'm probably going to end up like giving them away because I don't even really eat tomatillos. In the fall I will have to move some of this stuff around. Everything has gotten really big, so it needs more space. I'm going to probably move at least one of these echinaceas over here. This whole space here is annuals. I mean, there's tomatillos, and behind there there's cosmos, and I'm taking out the yellow yarrow. I may leave one because that color really works well in this palette. So I may leave one, but you know how I feel about yarrow. So I'm taking out, I think there's 2 or 3 over there. And so this whole section is coming out, and which means I can then move some of this stuff. So there are 2 ruby slippers here, which I probably will leave here because they're fairly short. One of these echinaceas, or maybe both, need to go over there. And then I'm thinking I want to move one of these hydrangeas. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hydrangeas in this row. It's making like a hedge now. So there's a big Annabelle there, the old school. I'll leave that. This one I'll leave, that I'm training into a tree form. I believe that's a moon rock. There are 2 pufferfish, and they are huge. I didn't realize they got that big, but I may move one of the pufferfish, or I may move this other, I think that's another moon rock, this one here, I think. So I may move that one and just kind of move it over to that section. And that's probably all I'm going to do. This red crocosmia is getting huge, just multiplying. It was like one little section when I first planted it 2 years ago. But I like that red because everything, as you can see here, is pretty much greens and whites and chartreusey, a little bit of pink thrown in, and a dot of purple. This tree changes colors every year. So it was purple, it was pink. I don't know what color it's going to be, but so I do like this red in here. So I may even move one of those, because there's like 3 bunches. I may move one over there in that section to spread out the red color. And then my trees, I pruned all of the fruit and nut trees up here because I like to keep them short, and they're all bouncing back from their major pruning. These little lime, I believe these are called little lime hydrangeas, I'm training those up into tree forms with 3 stems. They are looking lush and fantastic. This clematis has made it to the top. It will bloom in the closer to the fall. White flowers, tons of little white flowers. It's very nice because it's one of the last things to bloom. So, and I usually leave that there all winter. Over here, these are all tomatoes. It looks like a jungle here, but these are all tomatoes. Most of the tomatoes I planted were cocktail size or cherry size. I didn't really want to can anything this year. I don't need any. But yeah, so tomatoes in there, and behind that, of course, are a bunch of hydrangeas and a few rose bushes. I've lost rose bushes this season, at least 2 or 3. I believe, but I am getting a few more. Like I said, the 2 over there died, so I ordered new ones for there, and then I might order a couple more. I'm not sure, but any new roses I get are going in that section over there. Maybe they'll get more air circulation, I don't know, but everything here is looking lush and great. The only surprising thing is I got some color over here that I did not plant. This was a moon garden. So it was just white and green. These liatris, or whatever this is called, it was all white last year, and now some of it has turned purple. And the same with this echinacea. The only echinacea I planted here was that white one over there. This I assume came from that one, but it has turned pink. So I don't know if this stuff is reverting to its natural color. I don't know if it's because of the soil. Maybe the soil is alkaline, so it turned pink like hydrangeas. I do not know. This is a lilac that's finally growing. That's been in there for like 3 years, and it's just now doing anything. I thought it was dead. My apples. I have been religiously spraying my apples because I actually want to eat 1 or 2 this year, and as you can see, they are looking good. They're getting bigger. So, I mean, usually you don't pick apples till fall, so I got a little ways to go before probably I can harvest any. But my goal is just to keep them as bug free as possible. My ground cover is filling in nicely. I did add some in here. I moved some around, and then I got new ground cover for all the pathways. So I've planted some here. There's different kinds. I know the creeping thyme. There's one that has the purple flower. that I just showed you. I can't remember the name of that one. And then I got a moss over there too, because that's full shade kind of. So there's a moss over there. But in the walkways, I've planted in between all the pavers, and even on that side between those pavers I've planted the ground cover to hopefully reduce the weeds. Plus it's pretty, I mean, you know. And then what else? Nine bark over here, the mock orange. I may put that in the ground in the fall. It's getting big and I really like it, so I may just put it in the ground over there to let it reach its full potential. I am not sure. So, like I said, I'm going to keep this short. Oh, this purple coral bell is so pretty. You see that? I had 4. One died for unknown reasons, but I have 3 left, and I mean that color against that green and white, that is beautiful. And there are 2 beauty berries over there too, which are supposed to have purple berries once they get mature, so that'll be great. Up here in front, I do have these 2 Gatsby hydrangeas that are looking beautiful. Now I see a difference finally between the 2. This one, look how dark pink these blooms are. I mean, they are beautiful. These things get huge, so hopefully it won't be too crowded. That one has stayed white, so very interesting. My little maple that I transplanted over here is still alive, so that's my goal, is to keep it alive, because it is slow growing and it doesn't look that excited about being here, so we shall see. But let's see. Oh, up front, like I put lots of drought tolerant things, as I've said before, so lots of butterfly bushes and salvias and that kind of thing, because I don't water up front as frequently as I do, you know, closer to the house. Gladiolas, so those are annuals. Like I said, things are laying down because of the rain. This decorative oregano is laying down. Even my poor moon rock hydrangea that I'm training into a tree form is laying down. I'm only gonna hope that it stands back up when it dries out a bit. Annabelle always lays down. She's floppy over there. She is supported. Yeah, I may have to put some kind of stake in there. Those are getting heavy and I don't want it to break. And I have some little rose bushes over here. I'm hoping they survive. They're pink, all of them, I believe, on this side. And they're very pretty. I do like roses. I don't like thorns, but they are pretty. And then this is a hydrangea that I moved at the beginning of the season over here because it wasn't doing well in the sun. It likes shade. And this is Invincible Lace. Invincible Lace. And I can see why it's called Invincible Lace, because the bloom is so airy. And then right behind it, much smaller, is another Invincible. I think that's Garnetta. Back there. But as you can see, everything is looking lush and good and full, and this is probably the peak of the garden. Yeah, this tree hasn't bloomed yet, this Rose of Sharon. I have that one, who knows what color it's going to be, but I also have this blue one which actually has a bloom. This is the first bloom I planted this last fall, I believe. So this is blue chiffon Rose of Sharon, and it came from Proven Winners. Now that bloom is purple, even though they call it blue. Usually when they say blue on a plant, it's purple, but it's beautiful and the flowers are big. The other one, this one that is changing colors every year, the blooms on that one are much smaller. So yeah, I like that. And you know, there's a bunch of shrubs in here that I planted really to have filler for flower bouquets. So there's like dogwood and 9 bark and those kinds of things over here as well. Stuff that's pretty low maintenance. So yeah, this is the tree, the only tree that I'm letting get as tall as it wants. I did prune it, so it's just three main stems coming out. I want to keep it pruned up so that the things under there have room. So that's what's going on here. My little lawn robot is fantastic, I will say. It's back there, but it mows every day. It's not mowing today because it's been raining all day, so I parked it. but it mows every day, all day. And it is fantastic. There are still some tweaks. You know, that position next year, I think I will try to move the charging base to a different location, because that is on a slope. The whole yard is on a slope, but it sometimes has a hard time getting up into the charging station. So I don't know where I'll move it. Maybe try to move it further back towards the fence where it's maybe a little bit more level. My trees, these apple and pear trees over here, the leaves have been looking a little rough. They are growing though. They're much bigger than they were last year, and they're much bigger than they were when the season first started. So they are growing. You can tell that the ones in front gets the most sun, because they go, the height gets shorter as you go back towards the shade. But that's what I got going on. My persimmon trees have come back as a shrub. It was a tree with a single trunk, but now it's some kind of shrub with multiple trunks. I don't know what that means. I don't know if I'll ever get any persimmons. We can only hope. It looks healthy though. I did have a Japanese beetle issue they were all over those two. And I did come spray, because they will skeletonize your tree very quickly if you don't deal with the Japanese beetles. And I treat my grass for grubs, but I think they're coming from probably the neighboring houses, because I don't think anybody else is treating their grass for anything. And I have a red bud over there. That lavender twist that I put in recently is doing well. And then this red bud here, you can't see it. It's a purple twist maybe. But it has purple blooms, and it is getting much bigger. That was just a little stick when I planted it last fall. This is a viburnum, a snowball viburnum that I'm training into like a tree form also. And then I got some annual sunflowers in here that I use in flower bouquets, and of course all of the cutting mums that hopefully will be coming to bloom in the fall. One of the few things I have to cut in the fall. So that lines this whole driveway. So that is the quickest tour I've probably ever done. I'm proud of myself because I get to talking. But it's just to give you a little bit of update of what's going on. All right, that's all I got for today. Have a good one. Bye-bye.